Hi, my name is Phillips, Chartered Financial Planner, and today I'm going to run through the carry forward calculator. We'll go through a real example and I'll show you step by step how to use the software and calculator. So now we're going to look at our pension carry forward and tapered annual allowance calculator. This calculator allows pension specialists to demonstrate to their clients their available carry forward and any potential tapering that has occurred in the selected year. Like any of the cash calc tools, you'll need to select the client you wish to use the calculator for. Once within the client dashboard, click on the planning tools and select the pension carry forward and tapered annual allowance calculator. Today we're going to input a case live to show you the inputs and explain the results. So step 1, assumptions. Here we're going to input the pensionable salary for the chosen tax year. Please note that if you wish to know the available allowance for the previous tax year, you can input the pensionable salary in the box here and select the tax year required. Make a note of the annual allowance provided in the box on the right. The next step is to figure out the annual allowance available for each tax year. Here you'll need to make a note of the annual allowance for each tax year before working out the contributions for the current tax year. For our case, we know the pensionable salary from 2020-21 and 2019-20. I select the tax year 2020 to 2021, then input the known pensionable salary of 166,528. Hit save and calculate. This gives me a result of no tapering. Therefore, the full annual allowance was available. I'll repeat the process for the pensionable salary of 284,428 for the 2019-2020 tax year. The result is £10,000. As the carry forward rules go back 3 years, I'll repeat the process one more time for a pensionable salary of 152,500 for the 2018-2019 tax year. This gives an annual allowance of 38,750 due to tapering. So continue on step 1, assumptions. We're now going to input the pensionable salary for 2021-22 for our carry forward calculations, knowing the previous annual allowance available for 2019 and 2020. Our pensionable salary for this year is 375,555, which gives us a reduced annual allowance of 4,000 as we are fully tapered for this tax year. Our client did not make any personal pension contributions for the 2021-22 tax year. However, they benefit from an employer contribution of 15,572. Step 2, previous contributions. Here we will input the total contributions made in the previous tax year. The total contribution will include both personal and employer contributions. So for the 2020-21 tax year, it's 29,125. 2019-20 is 9,313 and 2018-19 is 30,000. This will help us calculate any remaining annual allowance for this particular tax year. Then continue to step 3, the available allowances. So based on our calculations, the full annual allowance is available for the 2021 tax year. We'll untick the 2019-2020 full annual allowance box to input the £10,000 result for the allowance. We then repeat this process for 2018-19 and untick the 2019-20 full annual allowance box to input the 38,750 result for the allowance. So now I'll explain the results, and in this case our client has £8,740 available to contribute this year. The table below the results explains the breakdown of these calculations. The contributions made column is using your previous inputs from step 1 and step 2. The initial annual allowance is using the results from step 1 based on the pensionable salary and if the tapered annual allowance has been applied. In this case it has. The initial annual allowance is also using the annual available allowance calculated in our previous steps for each known year that we've inputted in step 3. The contribution credited this tax year column are contributions credited based on the tapered annual allowance rules and maximum allowance available for this tax year. For example, for the year 2021-22, our client has an employer contribution of 15,572. However, the available initial annual allowance is £4,000 because it's been tapered due to the high salary of £375,555. The initial annual allowance remaining is the initial allowance minus the contributions credited for the tax year. For example, for the 2020 to 21 tax year, the initial annual allowance remaining is £40,000 minus 29,125 equals 10,875. The carry forward utilised from the tax year column will always try to go back as far as possible, i.e. 3 years, to utilise the available allowance and carry forward. In this instance, for a contribution of 15,572. If we look at the year 1819, we have a result of 8,750, which is the remaining allowance of £38,750 contribution. In 1920 tax year, the 687 result is obtained. If we look at the year 2021, we have a result of 2,135. This is the remaining contribution to be made from the initial contribution of 15,572, less £4,000 for the 2021-22 tax year, 8,750 for the 18-19 tax year, 687 for the 19-20 tax year, and that results in 2,135. The available unused annual allowance is the subtraction of the initial annual allowance remaining and the results of the carry forward to be utilised. So, in this case, 10,875 less 2,135 equals 8,740. The results at the top of the page are using the sum of all the remaining unused annual allowance from the table. In our example, it's 8,740. You can then see this breakdown in a colourful graphic format. If you look at the 2021 tax year, you can see the results in the table being highlighted in green for the available unused annual allowance, blue for the contributions credited, and black for the carry forwards utilised. You're able to create your PDF straight to PDF with your logo, company advisor name on the report.